Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Fredric Nystrom, Head of Responsible Investments at Ohman, to discuss Nasdaq Green Designations and how companies should consider promoting their green profile. Fredric, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Great, thank you. And Nasdaq launched Nasdaq Green Designations to highlight and give listed companies visibility and transparency for their green status and strategies to become even more sustainable and to create a standard for green equity on Nasdaq. Other exchanges and banks have similar initiatives. How important is a market standard for green equities when making your investment decision, and how can it contribute to your investment process?
Standard is absolutely essential, and especially at this stage when responsible investment and green investment is evolving so much. Standard is what we consider to be kind of a common language, so we know that investors and companies are talking about the same things when we talk about this issue. And a market standard will make different companies comparable to each other, so we can identify leaders and laggards when it comes to green transition and green investments. And at Ohman, we are also looking increasingly at different solutions to identify companies that is doing that transition. So this will absolutely make our investment process easier, and at the next stage, it would also make reporting to clients and stakeholders more easily, because we can point that as a market standard and not come up, and not only us, I think that's for all investors, not come up with our own solutions, but using a market practice instead.
There are different ways of defining what is green in the market. What are the benefits with Nasdaq Green Designation from your perspective?
I think it's important that credible actors in the market are stepping up to promote and facilitate responsible investment. And I think Nasdaq has an important role to play as a credible actor. Nasdaq is a super important intermediary between companies and investors, and Nasdaq is an actor that many are looking at. So taking this step, I think will certainly contribute to even more responsible investment.
What key considerations should companies that want to promote their green profile make in your view? Are there any challenges that need to be taken into account? Any tips that you have as an investor for companies considering to promote their green profile?
I think it's important that companies have high ambitions. And here I think green designation will play an important part. To reach the Paris Agreement, it's not enough that we do, or companies do, a little bit more, a little bit better than before. Companies now need to be innovative, develop new business models, totally new solutions to challenges. So in that aspect, I think it's green profile is important, and that they actually make this really ambitious targets and set those ambitious targets when they communicate to the investors.
What do you envision for the future? What parameters will be important to you for green investments that listed companies have to take into consideration, or other developments that are important to you as an investor?
I think it's going to be even more important to be concrete for companies. What are they actually doing? It's not enough talking about ambitious, but actually deliver results on what they've been talking about. An aspect I think will be important going forward is social issues, social considerations. Now we're talking about green. I think that will change and include also green considerations, and also brown revenues. And what revenues do companies have that is not in line with the Paris Agreement, that needs to be reduced.
All right, Fredric, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.